Here we go.
What's going on, everyone? We just got an update literally like 30 minutes ago, and I apparently had missed the notification in my Discord when this had popped up, but we have the April and May roadmap blog for Lost Ark, and I'm so excited to get into it. I can't wait to see what they have planned for us. Obviously, this is probably going to not be what we expect in terms of a roadmap, because they're trying to be a little bit more flexible with the idea that they want the community to feel safer when it comes to content drops. So they're probably going to kind of have a more structured response as to this is what we can release and this is what we, don't know until we get closer to the dates, because we want to make sure the community is there. That's my assumption. I've been saying this on stream for about a couple weeks now, is that the best course of action that I think Amazon and Smilegate have is to kind of facilitate this idea that, hey, we can guarantee this and this for these dates, but when it comes to things like Vault-In and a Legion Commander raid and bigger, high tier raids that you might have to hit a really, really high level through the honing with, we need to be a little bit more like flexible with those dates, because we don't want people to feel, pressured into pay to win, especially after how everyone felt with Argos. Even though myself, I didn't feel like Argos was that big of a piece of content added to the game to have an issue, but I'm kind of glad that the conversation started there. I wish it was a little bit more constructive than everyone having their torches and pitchforks out, but that's kind of just how like all gaming happens when, players don't like something that happens in their game. So it is what it is, but I'm glad that they were able to take it from a more constructive perspective and say, okay, with our roadmaps, we need to come up with a more solid, idea of how we want to present it. So let's check it out. Let's get right into it. I'm sorry that I just babbled there, because I'm really excited to get into it. Heroes of Arcasia and March Smilegate RPG joined us in our Seattle studio to take a look at the content roadmap, improve operations and tools, and continue collaboration on all other things related to the Western release of Lost Ark. If you haven't read it yet, be sure to read our letter to the community, which I've done in one of my previous videos. I'll try to have it linked in the video as well. That details our approach to content coming after the March update for the purposes of the April and May roadmap. We'll start off by reiterating a few things from that letter. We're going to keep the near future focus on horizontal content and giving players clear paths for progression without feeling like they need to pay. That's great. That's fantastic. That's what most of the content creators and players from Korea and the other Eastern servers were saying is what Lost Ark is like. The idea that we're given lots of opportunities to be able to successfully hone, or have the materials to hone our way up before major content drops come, so players are ready for it. We want to give players more time to reach endgame before introducing Legion raids, the definitive Lost Ark raiding experience, and ensure players are able to explore Arcasia and progress at their own pace without feeling pressured to race towards endgame content. Our March 24th update included new materials to help with honing chances that can be earned in two events, the Guardian Raid event and the Arcasia Grand Prix. Now, I will say I should have made a video about this, and I planned on it, but we've been also uploading my Tiny Tina's playthrough. I do have a criticism about the Guardian Raid event. If events are being added that allow us to gain materials from it, the less we have to do it per day to make sure that we can sufficiently get every item every week in that shop, the better. The Arcasia Grand Prix dominates in that area. It is a very short race. It's super fun. It's like not intrusive at all, and it's a blast, and you get more than enough just by doing it once a day, let alone if you were around for the I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago update when they gave us like an extra 3,000 and then up to how many tokens we were getting. The Guardian Raid event, the math is a little off. Now, it's there if you only want to worry about, like, if you're in tier 3 and you don't need the other materials. But if you want all the materials for alts as well, then you have to do it multiple times a day. And I think that it should give you enough coins for just that first run on your main character to then allow you to get all the materials, so your tier 1 characters and your tier 2 alts can also get everything in the shop without having to do it so many extra times. And I think the math was done where you need to do it 11 times within a week to be able to get everything within a week. And that's kind of where that one is lacking as opposed to the Arcasia Grand Prix. Obviously, you know, if you want to just hardcore grind those extra on the weekends, that's probably the best time to do it because you get 300 tokens instead of 200 tokens. Regardless, it's just something that I hope that they think about for the future when it comes to events, because there's still so much to do when it comes to horizontal content for players, especially that go at a more lenient pace, which I have been doing a little bit more recently as well. I still play every day. I still jump on and do my major things, but there's a couple of my classes that have full rest bars and everything that I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of making sure they don't have rest bars while also doing my horizontal progression across my roster. Anyway, again, sorry for babbling. April will continue the trend, providing more horizontal content for players to enjoy as they learn the systems of Lost Ark and continue to progress. With that, let's dive into April. Oh my God, is that the Lance Master? That's the Lance Master. What is his name? You know, and this is so funny because, like, again, for anyone that knows me as a Lost Ark content creator, my introduction to all of it was from the Western release. Now, I did research weeks before. Like every day on stream, I was reading up and learning about the classes and learning about the content and all that stuff. But just, you know, this is incredible. This is incredible, but also a little sad because I thought I manifested the Destroyer as the first class, and it seems like they pivoted. Now, maybe there was like a survey, or they kind of did some metrics on the amount of people that were asking for the classes. So they're like, nope, people are asking for Lance Master first, which obviously got another rename, which Gold River already said was kind of like weird for him because he doesn't know why he has to, like, you know, think about the same advanced class, you know, two different ways. Anyway, this is awesome. We have a new martial artist. It's the Glaivir. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Glaivir, or we're going to call it the Lance Master because that's a little bit easier for me, especially since I don't know this pronunciation. That is the first class we're getting, and I think a lot of people are probably going to be excited about this because I'm not going to lie. I think that from my chat, and just off of the top of my head, I think I remember everyone wanting Lance Master the most. Now, there were people that were really excited for Arcana. There are people that are really excited for Summoner. There are people that are really excited for Scout or Scouter, whichever one you call it. But I think the Lance Master was the number one I was seeing in chat. So let's get into it. She looks awesome, by the way. Practicing an artistic and deadly form of martial arts, the Glaivir, I hope I'm saying that correctly, slices and dices her way through the battlefield, weaving together attacks with her spear and glaive. The Glaivir has two distinct sets, which can be swapped between focus and flurry, with each stance and skill set represented by one of her two weapons. The shorter spear is used to unleash furious barrage in the flurry stance, while the longer glaive harnesses focus stance for gracefully lethal strikes and sweeping attacks. While certain builds may focus your attention onto one of these weapons, an effective Glaivir can maximize their potential by creating balance between the two stances, building up energy in one stance, which grants an impactful stat boost when swapping to the other. The Glaivir will join the War Dancer, Soulfist, Striker, and Scrapper as the 5th martial artist advanced class. We're also getting South of Vern in April, which was already, I think, known, and we were pretty much, you know, aware of it with where March's content update came with the introduction of Caden, but this is exciting. So we have the settlers of South Vern borrow technology from many different races to turn this once barren land into an abundant waters and green pastures. Hearing rumors of the dangers that plagued North Fern, the Senate shut South Fern down and formed a new knightly order. Suspecting that something was amiss, Aline, the Queen of Vern, ordered Knight Commander Avel to investigate. What could be happening to this peaceful continent? Uncover the mysteries of South Vern as you venture into this new region, encounter new characters, and complete quests. South Vern will join Punica as the second Tier 3 continent, requiring an item level of 1340 to begin. For our newer players, we'll be sharing more information on how to work your way towards Tier 3 and join this new adventure. We have general updates coming to the game in April. South Vern and Glaivir Advanced Class are not the only things that will arrive in April. Stay tuned in the coming weeks for more release specifics, such as new login rewards, in-game events, skins, and store updates. And okay, we'll spoil one for now. A Phaeton Power Pass that provides item level 960 to gear to level your new Glaivir or any other character you'd like. Please take my money. I will absolutely at least buy 2 of those. Like, I don't even care if it's paid. It would be nice if they somehow gave us like a Blue Crystal transaction version one, but I'm not gonna lie, I would probably buy a couple Phaeton Power Passes. Come on, that's incredible. I love that. That's awesome. Maybe we get some free ones in other events, or maybe we get one free one to start. Who knows? Quality of life improvements, improved co-op party play for secret maps. I was just watching a video about this and how it's not in our server. All 4 members can submit a map to get rewards with 1 run. That is awesome. So there is something that has been happening that I've been hearing about. I haven't done it myself, or I haven't been a part of it myself because I only run maps with my guildmates and my viewers. But I've heard about people that are kind of like trying to scam others by saying, you know, I have a purple map. Let's, you know, group up. And then they don't have a purple map. They tell everyone to do their maps first. And then when they get all the materials, they dip out of the party, which is not okay. And if I'm not mistaken, the video also said is a bannable offense in Korea. So the fact that we're getting this quality of life now where you have to submit a map, you know, that's awesome. That's incredible. Chat tab settings are chairs to cry. Yes! I was literally, I'm not even kidding. I was playing last night and I was thinking, man, I don't want to make another character because then I have to remake my chat tabs. I don't know why such a lazy thing bothers me, because it's like, it's so like, it's such a little thing, but it's such a nice quality of life, just like convenience factor. You know what I mean? Improved book of coordination settings can use skill presets, tripod levels, skill runes, gem item set effects. Interesting. I'm excited to see how that works. And now we have May to look forward to as well. May, we promise to be honest, sometimes brutally so. Yes, be brutally honest. And now is one of those times. While we can say that we firmly plan on releasing the Destroyer Advanced Class, Trial Guardian raids, and quality of life adjustments in May, Volton's Legion raid and Descaluda will be moved if we feel these activities would create pressure within the community. Eventually, endgame content will be introduced, but players should feel comfortable to continue progressing at their own pace. I respect this. I really do respect this. I like the idea that again, this is exactly what I was kind of saying. This is the way that roadmaps need to be introduced. We can give you firm dates on classes. We can give you firm dates on continents. We can give you firm dates on horizontal. But when it comes to vertical, we'll say that this is what we're looking to release, but we want to be sure and pay attention to what the community is doing. And things like the Fate and Power Pass are also a great way to help players start getting there a lot faster too. That's why I do hope that at least we get one free one for, you know, some accolade in game, to make people feel like it's less like, oh, I have to pay for a Fate and Power Pass, or I have to grind for another, you know, X number of hours, whatever that may be. But regardless, that's awesome. I also do think that, you know, now like that we're getting to a point to where the community is starting to like taper off, and we're getting a nice balance on what the consistent numbers are. Maybe it's time to, like, if they want to get a nice bump back in players, introduce those new honing rates and start looking at that. Maybe after they drop, like once Volton comes into play, then we get those new honing rates that they know are in Korea, because then, you know, people come into the game that don't want to buy a power pass, or just want to play naturally and do all the tiers on their own. They wouldn't have to worry so much about, you know, being gated by honing materials through tier 1 and tier 2, and, you know, tier 3 getting to 1385. Anyway, so our data has suggested that a big enough portion of our active players will reach or be close to reaching the item levels needed to participate in higher level endgame content by May. Our goal is to provide fun content for players, even if it's at a higher level, while never making players feel pressured that they need to pay to keep up. We will continue monitoring player feedback and data and provide updates when we're able to strive to remain transparent in our communication and decision making. We appreciate your support and feedback, so please keep it coming while we start this adventure together. The Destroyer is being added in May. We've talked about the cataclysmic impact the warriors have on the battlefield, but nothing embodies this better than the hammer-wielding Destroyer. Armed with a variety of skills centered around charging into the heart of the fray, their hammer attacks are so catastrophically crushing that destroyers can bend gravity to their will, slowing, launching, pushing, and pulling enemies. Whatever it takes to utterly, beyond a shadow of a doubt, destroy them. The Destroyer will join the Berserker, Paladin, and Gunlancer as the 4th warrior class. That's amazing. Trial Guardian raids will add a new weekly activity for players looking for a challenge. Each week, players can attempt to defeat 3 Trial Guardians. Every Guardian has their own required item level to enter, and each week, one Guardian will rotate out, replaced by a different foe. Differing from a normal Guardian raid, Trial Guardian raids will apply a scale of harmony so that your player's item level will be adjusted appropriately to that of their enemy. Additionally, players cannot use the Battle Workshop in the raid region. However, with increased challenge comes increased rewards. Rewards for each challenge Guardian can be obtained once per roster per week and offer more diverse rewards than normal Guardian raids. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm super down for that. May will also introduce a bunch of quality of life changes, including the ability to check daily and weekly content participation in a new menu, UI updates. Oh, thank goodness. Improved party finder, party invites, updated loot dismantling, convenience features for market auction house, and a few fun features like being able to randomly summon favorited mounts and new hairstyles for customization. Yes! And now we have the tentative, so subject to change, additions for May. And the new Guardian raid would be Descaluda. Guardians are powerful entities that can tip the scales towards good or evil. A new Guardian will arise and must be vanquished before they usher in an age of darkness. Upon arrival, Descaluda will be one of the most powerful Guardians in Arcadia, requiring a high item level to encounter at 14-15. As with the other Guardian raids, you can attempt to vanquish them alone, with a party, or matchmake with up to 3 other heroes. Legion raid, Vaultin, normal, and hard. Vaultin will introduce the first Legion raid into the Western version of Lost Ark. Legion raids are difficult team-based activities that require teamwork to understand and enact the strategy necessary to counter each Legion commander's unique characteristics, abilities, and mechanics. As Legion raids are challenging and take time, there are gates or checkpoints that will save players' progress as they advance through the raid. Vaultin is an 8-player Legion raid and introduces a swath of new mechanics. Players will need to be item level 14-15 and will share more information on Legion raids when we approach the May update. As for looking ahead, once again, this is not all the content that will release in April and May. We'll keep you up to date if anything changes as we work through both of those updates and work to ensure you know what is on the roadmap for upcoming months. We're excited to watch you progress through your journeys in Arcadia, both in vertical content and horizontally, as you explore all Lost Ark has to offer. We'll continue to evaluate data and listen to player feedback and share the summer roadmap content after April and May are wrapped up. I am okay with this. This is a much better scope ahead to look into the future. I think this is a little too close to the April update to be dropping this now. I feel like this should have been dropped post March update. So I hope the cadence for these blogs of, confirmed and tentative are dropped about maybe a week or two after each update to keep that information flowing and know what's next as we just get the latest. These month or this full month gap without information, especially right now because we're waiting for what people say is the true Lost Ark experience with Legion raids and so on and so forth, is what I'm kind of talking about. This was kind of the biggest one. I feel like it'll get better from here now that we finally hit a hump. However, this is really nice to see. I'm really excited. I'm kind of sad that the Arcana was pushed out of the leaked roadmap, and I was kind of hoping we were going to see 2 classes in April and 2 classes in May. I think that would have been a huge drop for the community. But even 1 class a month is, that's 6 months, and then we're caught up to the Korean version if we see that. So yes, 6 months is technically a long time, but at the end of the day, if they start dropping if it's Arcana and then Scout and then Summoner, or Summoner then Arcana and then Scout, or Scout Arcana then Summoner, in that order, I think those are more of the very, very, very looking forward to classes right now. But I'm very excited. Destroyer is my number 1 I'm looking forward to. I'm very excited to make an Arcana because Lady Gambit sounds really dope. But anyway, I want to leave it to you guys in the comments. I want you to let me know what you guys think about this roadmap, and if you think that AGS is doing a better job facilitating the information because they're allowing us to see confirmed content and also say we want to also release this content as well. But if our information changes or we feel like the community doesn't feel like they're genuinely ready and our numbers say that there's not enough people, there's not a majority of the players efficiently and effectively ready to take on this content as it releases, we want to make some changes so if people don't feel like they're forced to pay. And I know that there's some players out there that are like, dude, I've been grinding. I got, you know, XYZ elemental P characters to 14, 15, and I'm ready for vaulting, but that's not everyone. And that's why, like, that's what I like. I like the idea that when I hear creators like Saint Tone talk about Lost Ark, the casual players are respected more than the, you know, in this essence of dropping content than the hardcore players, because the hardcore players can be ready with multiple characters and many characters and consistently work on everything that Lost Ark has to offer, while casual players only have certain amount of time or limited time or choose to have only a set amount of time to do vertical content to get there. So that's really exciting, and I think that that's a great way to go about it. And I'm so hecking excited for more information. I hope you guys are all excited. Let me know what you guys think. I think the future of Lost Ark is still very bright. I know people are worried about the player base dropping so much, but I mean, again, when the creative director, or the creative director, when Gold River himself says, I'd be happy, I feel like we would be very successful if we have 200,000 concurrent, and even at what I think is the biggest lull since launch, has almost 100,000 more than that consistently at peak. I think we're doing very good. So once vaulting comes out, once more content comes out, we're going to see spikes and we're going to see, you know, ebbs and flows, but I'm very excited for that. I hope to see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you like the Lost Ark information or like my perspective on the content, the blogs, and everything that we're, you know, getting with Lost Ark. I can't wait to see what the game brings, and I can't wait to check out content that I've been hearing about that makes the true Lost Ark experience. Everyone, have a good time, and I'll see y'all all in Arcasia. Bye, everybody.